America 250 special presentation is sponsored by Poly Products. Smarter planning, stronger spaces. Bronson Healthcare, health in harmony. Sheriff Goslin Roofing, experience the difference 120 years can make. Wings Over Muskegon Air Show, coming this summer, August 21st through 23rd. The Gerald R. Ford Presidential Library and Museum, and the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Foundation.
Ahead on Fox 17, a celebration of history, 250 years of America and 175 years of Grand Rapids.
I'm excited to be American citizen finally. Been in here for almost 40 years and finally I got it.
From the founders to founders, we mark these milestones, looking at our past.
I think it's just spreading more awareness about how far America has come.
While the next generation looks to our future.
My goal is to be governor of Michigan.
We're the future of our nation. We're going to be the ones making these policies, voting on them, and picking our next leaders and being our next leaders.
To leave our city and our country better than we found it.
How can we build a better, stronger America for the next 250 years?
Your stories, your neighborhoods, the news that matters to you. Fox 17 News starts now.
Thank you so much for joining us on Fox 17. I'm Michelle Dunaway. 2026 marks 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and 2025 marked 175 years since the incorporation of the city of Grand Rapids. Over the next half hour, we'll take a look at how our city has made an impact on our collective American history and how our community looks to plant seeds of progress for the next 250 years. We begin at the intersection of both state and federal politics with an up-close look at Grand Rapids' own Gerald R. Ford. Our 38th president held the office during America's 200th birthday back in 1976. Grand Rapids reporter Matt Whitkos has a look at Ford's impact not just on Michigan, but our nation.
I'm Matt Whitkos, your Grand Rapids reporter. We are inching closer to America celebrating its 250th birthday. A crucial part of that history, President Gerald R. Ford. Right here in my neighborhood, you have a chance to experience his early childhood all the way up to his time as president, and even get a glimpse of what it was like for America as it celebrated its bicentennial. Nestled in the heart of Grand Rapids is a national treasure. The Gerald R. Ford Museum, rich in history.
On loan to us from the National Archives in D.C., we have the Northwest Ordinance, which is the document from 1787, which kind of laid the groundwork for settlement of the Northwest Territory, which included Michigan. So that's on display here at the museum.
Dr. Morel Lukey is our tour guide as we explore the legacy of the Fords.
So he was born Leslie Lynch King Jr., and his mother divorced his biological father when he was just a few months old, and so he was called Junie. And when his mother met his stepfather, Gerald Ford, he went from being Junior King to Junior Ford.
That's been a Jeopardy question. The museum is filled with so much history, legacy, and thousands of artifacts. Ford's University of Michigan football uniform, congressional desk, and a replica of the Oval Office during his time as president. Thousands of the artifacts are down in a secured room. Here's a behind-the-scenes look back in 2012.
This is when the Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip came for our bicentennial in May of 1976.
That dress from Betty Ford now on display, and so much more.
Yeah, so this is Queen Elizabeth's dress that she wore to the state dinner in 1976, and it's on loan to us from the Royal Collection Trust in King Charles in the UK, and so we're really excited to have it. But we knew that any exhibit talking about this extraordinary visit in 1976 had to have this dress because this dance was monumental.
The bicentennial celebrated when Ford was president. Now, 50 years later, it's time for another milestone, America's semi-quincentennial. The museum is celebrating with a new display called the American Eagle.
So President Ford received bicentennial gifts not only from head of state leaders, but from the American public. And so people would just send the president things that they saw or things that they made related to the bicentennial. So this exhibit is highlighting some of the Eagle-themed items that he received. So
I'm Matt Whitkos, your Grand Rapids reporter, Fox 17 News.
In June, dozens of people from around the world took the oath of citizenship in Grand Rapids, marking the end of a long journey to becoming Americans. Our Giselle Valentine shows us how, for many, this moment represented years of sacrifice, uncertainty, and hope.
Inside the naturalization ceremony in Grand Rapids, emotions ran high as new Americans took their oath of citizenship. One of them was Josefina Palazinski, who moved to the United States from the Philippines nearly 40 years ago.
I'm excited to be American citizen finally. I've been in here for almost 40 years and finally I got it.
Palazinski says she first came to America in 1989 when she was just 18 years old. She built her life here in Michigan, raising her children and starting a family.
I realized that I think it's time to do it because all my children, they're American citizens.
But she says the process of becoming a citizen wasn't always easy.
The process is a little bit harder for me because some of the paperwork I don't understand, but I hire a lawyer.
She says it took about a year and a half before her interview, and even then, she was nervous about passing the test.
Sometimes I realize I don't want to do it. I'm afraid that I'm not going to pass my American citizen in my interview.
Today, though, those fears were replaced with relief.
I'm happy finally I got it.
But even in the moment of celebration, she says there's still a little heartbreak.
I felt happy. I felt kind of excited and sad because I'm surrendering my own country to this country.
And now, after decades in the United States, she hopes others who are thinking about becoming citizens take that step too.
All my friends, they are American citizens. Some of them are American citizens, but they have to have that because now it's getting kind of picky, it's kind of scary now. You have to do it.
Reporting in Grand Rapids, I'm Giselle Valentine, Fox 17 News.
They may not be able to vote yet, but their interest in politics and civic engagement is already growing.
It's so important for young people to learn about civics just because we're the future of our nation.
Still ahead, we take you to civics camp with a few introductions to students already looking to make their mark on American history. Well, it's hard to think about Grand Rapids without thinking about the impact of the DeVos family. There's the DeVos Performance Hall in DeVos Place, the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital, and many more contributions and institutions that have helped shape our city. I sat down with Doug DeVos to hear more about his vision and hopes for the future in our city and beyond.
I would love, as we go forward, to spend time thinking about the things that unite us rather than the things that divide us.
As our country turns 250 years, some may not feel like celebrating. But Doug DeVos, the co-chair of the board of directors for Amway, says this is nothing new for our nation.
There's always been divisiveness. Our country's history is full of it. And there are points and times where it's worse than it was today. If you just have a small look at history, this is part of the human experience. Don't get caught up into it. Don't let it take you away, because a divisive issue that's amplified loudly may make you think it's a lot bigger than it really is.
He says the first step, look your neighbors in the eye and have some real conversations.
How you doing? How's your family doing? Where are you in your job or your career or your aspirations? What are you trying to achieve? What do you see in the community where we could be better? What in our neighborhood could be better? Let's talk about those sorts of things.
Once we start talking, we can start moving forward and creating change where we live together.
So many times we talk about this idea of inclusion, and that's a huge idea of inclusion, but it also includes, in my opinion, an idea of participation. So those two things go hand in hand. Absolutely, we want people to be included, but we want them to participate, to engage as citizens, to engage as neighbors, and to have their voice, heard, and to have their position known, and to do it in a respectful, interactive way.
There is strength in community when you're talking about a neighborhood, a city, or a country. Real change comes from the people, their voices, their actions, and their work.
I'm old enough now to know it requires work. It requires effort, it requires collaboration, and it requires cooperation. And so those are the elements that I think we have to keep putting in front of ourselves and say, how do we have these discussions? How do we break down this issue? How do we talk about it? How do we share our perspectives so we can find a better way forward?
And as we celebrate this semi-quincentennial, DeVos says yes, enjoy the family, friends, and fireworks, but we should also be thinking forward and about the role we play in the future.
I hope we take with us, this is not just a one-year short-term celebration, let's have a party. We should do all that, by the way. But let's think about, what about A251? What about 275? What about A300? What are we going to do between this celebration and the next celebration to improve things and to create that better sense of community?
Leading up to America's 250th birthday, GRA 250 hosted several events to encourage civic engagement, one of which happened earlier this summer when a group of students spent a day at the Ford Museum for a civics camp to learn about the foundations of American government. Our Darren Bauer takes us to class.
Anybody interested in world citizenship first? Head with Miss Orlov.
Kids from across the state were excited to be at the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum to learn more about the United States.
I've just been really interested in politics and public speaking, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to get to know some of my community's leaders and just understand how to get more involved.
Since then, and that went into effect in 1981.
The camp was sponsored by the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Foundation, Scouting America Michigan Crossroads Council, and Grand Rapids America 250.
It's so important for young people to learn about civics just because we're the future of our nation. We're going to be the ones making these policies, voting on them, and picking our next leaders and being our next leaders.
There's many countries that have non-constitutional governments.
Not only did the kids learn about America in small classes
and what it means to be an American,
they also got to hear from past and current leaders like Michigan State Senator Mark Huizenga.
Definitely, I was really excited to meet the representative earlier and learn about his story and kind of get to understand how you can come to these positions.
He had a whole life of serving his country.
The goal of the camp was not only to teach the kids about our government, but to inspire the next generation to get involved in their community.
Hopefully in this audience we have Michigan's second president here at some point in time too. So it's just so exciting to be here with so many young people who bring a lot of energy, and I know the future is in good hands with them.
My goal is to be governor of Michigan.
17-year-old Carson Hall has high political aspirations and says it's important for everyone to learn and to be involved in our government.
As young people turn into adults, there's less and less people going out and voting is very important to actually get change done. And if you want change in the system, you actively have to participate.
With the United States' 250th anniversary coming up on July 4th, organizers say this was the perfect time for the camp.
Today's just a really special day to remember kind of the foundations of what makes America's civic framework work as well as it does. But then also let's find opportunities here to say, hey, this is really accessible. You guys can come in and you guys can get involved today.
After the camp, students earned a special patch in honor of Grand Rapids America 250. In Grand Rapids, Darren Bauer, Fox 17 News.
From a civics camp to a conversation at the Democracy Cafe, it's another ongoing effort by GRA 250 designed for neighbors to connect and converse about the history and future of our city and our country. Our Sam Lanstra reports.
The Founding Fathers called American democracy an experiment. The constitutional republic that is the United States has lived for 250 years and continues to be defined every day by those who respectfully engage in civic discourse. I'm Sam Lanstra, your Kent County neighborhood reporter, and the Democracy Cafe is encouraging these things. A cup of conversation can be had at the Democracy Cafe.
There's always more you can learn.
You'll hear questions like, what inspires people to show up for others? What's an issue in Grand Rapids that you deeply care about?
Well, thanks. It was nice talking to you guys. Yeah,
I answered the second one. When people participate and exercise their civic engagement, what good does that do for them and for their country and city and state?
I think it does every good there could possibly be.
The cafe is run by these college students and can be seen at events in the Grand Rapids area, like the Asian Pacific Festival.
I think it's just spreading more awareness about how far America has come and what they can do to continue to improve America.
Disagreements here are dealt with words, and problems with our country's recent or even distant past are framed as opportunities for the future.
This is kind of like new for me. Like I've learned about like American politics and stuff like that.
The American experiment is ever unfolding, but Gabe Edawai, who is from Indonesia, says he's taking the latest test results back home.
If I can like go back to Indonesia and get the chance to do like this kind of stuff, then I'd be like more than happy to do that.
The Democracy Cafe will continue to have a presence in the Grand Rapids area throughout the summer. For more information, you can visit our website, fox17online.com. I'm Sam Lanster, your Kent County reporter, Fox 17 News.
In the 175 years since the incorporation of Grand Rapids, countless leaders have stepped up to keep the city moving forward. Still ahead, I sit down with Mayor David LaGrand, the latest leader at the helm, elected to help usher in the next generation. Grand Rapids Mayor David LaGrand stepped into the role on January 1st, 2025, and walked into the city offices with plenty of goals and priorities to continue to grow Grand Rapids and build community.
How can we build a better, stronger America for the next 250 years?
All great questions from Grand Rapids Mayor David LaGrand, because he says looking locally and nationally, we can all afford to put in some work.
You see people on the far left shouting down conservative speakers so they can't even talk. You see people on the far right having very, very damaging and hateful rhetoric a lot about people they disagree with. And so, I think we're all complicit in it.
While we all may think we're more connected than ever, too many people feel alone.
And whether they think the system's rigged or, their vote doesn't make a difference or their effort doesn't make a difference, but people devolving into hyper-individualism.
The solution, he says, can be as simple as coming together and realizing that's how the world works best.
We started with a Declaration of Independence. I think it's about time we have a Declaration of Interdependence. And that's really true in cities. You can't get through a day in a city without needing help from the people who give you water, the people who take care of our streets. Like we live in complexity, and in complexity, you're not really independent. But acknowledging that and leaning into the interdependence of our community is, I think, a real challenge for America right now, because Americans so often have this instinct of I can do it on my own. Don't tell me what to do.
Because working together and for one another is good for all.
It turns out, and it's geeky, but it turns out when people do things for other people, it actually improves their quality of life demonstrably. And so thinking about how to make the lives of others better is, I think, the core of civic engagement.
And as his city celebrates 175 years and our country 250, Mayor LaGrand says creating opportunity for community and connection is how we have to move forward.
It's also people getting together in the same time, in the same space, to have positive experiences. And that's really the core of keeping a society together. If we all disappear into our own cell phones, we're not really a society anymore. We're just a number of individual people. And so, I just really see our city reaching and moving forward on people being together, spending time together, and building the community that's the foundation of democracy.
Still ahead, from planting trees to picking up trash, a look at how neighbors in Grand Rapids are putting in the work to make our community a better place. Celebrating both America's 250th birthday and the 175th anniversary of Grand Rapids isn't just about our history. It's about looking at how far we've come and what we still need to do as we aim to leave our city and our country better than we found it. And while we often don't get to see the fruits of our labor, we do have to set an example and sow the seeds for the next generation to take over. Back in April, hundreds of volunteers planted 250 trees in Garfield Park to celebrate 250 years, all in one weekend. Since 2008, Friends of Grand Rapids Parks, in the hands of many volunteers, have planted more than 10,000 trees. This year, Grand Rapids received its 28th Tree City USA recognition from the Arbor Day Foundation for its commitment to plant, grow, and maintain trees across the city.
Does it ever strike you to think about the fact that you're planting a tree and 250 years later, someone might be sitting underneath that tree?
It's so hard to fathom, but yeah, somebody planted this tree, right? And that's the beauty of it. It's who knows what stories that tree could tell or what things happen around that tree.
Friends of Grand Rapids Parks plans to do this one more time this year, planting another 250 trees this fall. And from cleaning up the environment to beautifying our city streets. In May, neighbors participated in a 2-day citywide cleanup effort tied to the 250th festivities. Angela Gildia is one of the many volunteers who stepped up. We talked to her as she was picking up trash. And while she was surprised at how little trash there actually was, she says maintaining a clean city helps encourage folks to come downtown.
It's important that people are proud of the community that they live in. So I think it's important that, we all pitch in and keep our city clean, celebrating our freedom.
What you've seen over the last half hour is just a fraction of the stories we've told over the last few months to celebrate America's 250th birthday. If you'd like to see any of these pieces again or watch some of our other stories documenting West Michigan's history, you can head to our website, fox17online.com/America-250. From all of us here at Fox 17, thank you for spending some time with us. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. I'm Michelle Dunaway.